Gil Martin here, and welcome everybody to today's episode of the Daily Packers Post, where we bring you in-depth videos about your Green Bay Packers. We have new episodes dropping every day, Monday through Friday, so hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Today we're going to talk about an area of concern as we begin preparations for the final preseason game of 2025, and that's the lack of depth along the interior of the Packers' offensive line. We know right now who the starters are likely to be. You've got Aaron Banks at left guard. You've got Elgton Jenkins at center. And over at right guard, most likely it's going to be Sean Rhyan. But regardless of that, the big question is if any of those starters do get hurt, what happens? Now, I think the biggest question mark is at center. Elgton Jenkins taking over there after the departure of Josh Myers. But what if Jenkins is out of the lineup? And, there are other options on the team. Obviously, Zach Tom has experience playing center at some point in college, took some snaps there in the preseason and in training camp earlier in his Packers career, not necessarily this year, but moving Tom from right tackle, where he plays now, to center would really hurt the tackle position. He is the best, highest graded offensive lineman on the Packers over the last 2 years, according to Pro Football Focus. It's doable, but it's not desirable to move Zach Tom. The next option would be Sean Rhyan, who has taken snaps at center this preseason and in training camp, but he didn't play particularly well at center. And, if he were to play long-term, if he were to start more than a few plays there, he'd be a below-average stopgap kind of a player at center. The next guy on the depth chart right now would be Jacob Monk, but Monk has looked overmatched in preseason and at times in practice this year, and especially in pass protection. He has struggled mightily there in preseason games, and that was mostly against backup players. He just doesn't look ready right now to step in and take significant snaps in a regular season game. So that's kind of up in the air. Then you have the situation at guard. And look, neither of the starters, Banks or Ryan, are considered Pro Bowl caliber players, but they're both solid starters. Banks is more of a road grader. He's a power guy, especially when blocking for the run. And Ryan adds a mean streak and an intensity that sets the tone for the entire offensive line. But behind those two, you've got a lot of questions. Donovan Jennings, next on the depth chart, hasn't looked good in training camp or in the preseason, did not look good at all against the Colts. And then you've got Kadeem Telford and Lasita Smith, who the Packers just re-signed last week. These are guys who right now, again, special teams players, mop-up duty guys, but ready to really see significant action on offense? Probably not, especially if they have to go up against starters. The other guy next on the depth chart, J.J. Lippe, and look, I think he may have some potential here, but he's making the jump from Northern Illinois to the NFL as a rookie, undrafted free agent. I don't think he's ready to play significant snaps at guard this year. If he makes the team or the practice squad, he'll probably see most of his action on special teams. So what is the best option right now? And it probably would be to take advantage of the fact that Brian Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur like versatility in their offensive linemen. So we still have that left tackle battle between Rasheed Walker and Jordan Morgan. Regardless of who wins that battle, you put Morgan in at guard, either guard position, and then, if Morgan was the left tackle, you move him to guard. If he is the backup left tackle or the swing tackle, you insert him at whichever guard position that you would like. You could also move Rhyan to center if necessary. But again, if a guard goes down, I think Jordan Morgan would be the first alternative. The next alternative, Anthony Belton, who has taken some reps at guard, even though he's probably predominantly a tackle. He's the second round pick this year. He certainly did look, raw, struggled against the Colts with some bad penalties, especially in the first half. He's talented, but he's making the adjustment to the NFL. But again, in a pinch, probably a better option than some of the earlier players we mentioned, because he has the athleticism and the talent that you look for an offensive lineman. It's not a great situation right now, and it will be interesting to see whether or not Brian Gutekunst looks to add a player after initial cut downs are made, or who wins some of those other starting jobs along the line, to see how it all plays out. But it is a concern now with just one preseason game and a couple of weeks before the games start to count. Check out our website at thepackerspost.com. We've got new articles dropping 6 days a week there, going in depth on the Packers. Here on YouTube, hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode of the Daily Packers Post. I'm Gil Martin. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. And of course, go Pack Go.